in the morning.
Welcome back to our channel, fellow Genoa City gossips. Today is a beautifully chaotic day in the soap world, and we need to talk. Grab your strongest cup of coffee, settle into your favorite chair, and let's get right into the thick of it, because my mind is absolutely blown. I am literally shaking with rage and disbelief right now. I cannot believe they did that. I am sitting here typing furiously at 2 a.m. because my brain is just short-circuiting over Kyle Abbott's latest move. Seriously, am I the only one who thinks this is the most spectacularly stupid decision in the history of the Abbott family? And we all know the Abbotts have made some legendary blunders over the years, but this takes the cake. I mean, I have been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have seen some truly wild alliances, some absolutely baffling betrayals. But this one actually has me screaming at my television screen. I need to vent, and I know you guys are the only ones who will truly understand this level of frustration. So, let me just get this out of my system before I even try to break down the logic or lack thereof. Kyle actually went to Patty Williams' jail cell. Yes, that Patty Williams. The woman who just tried to slaughter his entire family in cold blood. He stood outside those iron bars on the Wednesday, July 15th episode and literally offered to make a deal with her. A deal. With Patty Williams. He wants her to feed him the ultimate dirt, the silver bullet, the smoking gun that will finally take down Victor Newman once and for all. I'm sorry, but what on earth is going through his pomaded head right now? How does he think this is going to end well for anyone involved? Okay, wait, let me catch my breath and try to see this from his perspective, because I know some people are loving this dark Kyle era. I get it. I really do understand the absolute, blinding fury that Kyle is operating under right now. He has been through pure hell over the last few weeks. He literally just watched his father, Jack Abbott, bleed out on the floor after being brutally stabbed by this lunatic. He had to play action hero to rescue his mother, Diane, from being held hostage in that terrifying fortress by Dr. Lawrence Markham. And then, as if that wasn't enough trauma for one lifetime, he had to watch Patty plunge a syringe full of digitalis into Diane's neck right in the hospital hallway. The trauma is real. The PTSD is off the charts. He is a son who almost lost both of his parents in the span of a few days. Because Victor Newman is the puppet master. We all know it. Kyle knows it. Patty literally confessed it during that intense interrogation. The mustache brought Patty back to Genoa City. He funded her. He set her loose on the Abbotts like a rabid dog just to settle some petty, ancient vendetta and ruin Jack's life. He provided the luxury yacht, the safe houses, the endless stream of cash. So, Kyle's rage at Victor, completely justified, 100% valid. I am right there with him wanting to see Victor pay for his sins, but the way Kyle is going about this is it's mind-bogglingly reckless. Remember that scene on Tuesday, July 14th? The confrontation at the Newman Ranch, that was a masterclass in Victor Newman's sheer, unadulterated arrogance. Kyle marches in there, chest puffed out, demanding justice, threatening to make Victor pay for almost making him an orphan. And what does Victor do? He laughs in his face. He literally chuckles, brushes off Jack's near-death experience with a sarcastic poor him, and tells Kyle to go home and be the useless son his family expects him to be. Victor didn't show an ounce of remorse, not a single shred of guilt. He even fired a metaphorical warning shot, basically daring Kyle to come at him. That smugness is exactly what pushed Kyle over the edge. And that is exactly what triggered this insane jailhouse negotiation. Kyle wants to wipe that smug smile off Victor's face. He wants to be the one Abbott who finally succeeds where Jack, Billy, and everyone else has failed for decades. He wants to be the ultimate Newman destroyer, the successor to the Abbott throne who finally slays the dragon. But partnering with Patty, did he learn nothing from the past? Remember when they tried this kind of enemy of my enemy alliance with Ashland Locke? Yeah, didn't work then either. You cannot control a wild card, and Patty Williams is the entire deck of wild cards set on fire and thrown into a tornado. Let's just talk about Patty for a second, because I feel like Kyle has completely forgotten who he is dealing with. This woman is not a rational corporate player. She is a deeply disturbed, highly unpredictable, antisocial sociopath with a body count and a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt. She is a literal murderer with a bottomless pit of homicidal urges. This is the woman who kissed a young Summer Newman with peanut butter on her lips knowing the kid had a deadly allergy. This is the woman who drugged Jack and assaulted him on a yacht. She is not someone you can just shake hands with and expect her to honor a gentleman's agreement. But there was Kyle, standing at her cell, looking at her like she's just another disgruntled corporate whistleblower ready to flip on her boss. When he pitched the idea of taking down Victor together, Patty actually smiled. That smile sent chills down my spine. She smiled because she knows she has him exactly where she wants him. But what is Kyle actually offering her in return? Because we all know Patty isn't going to hand over the keys to Victor's destruction out of the goodness of her heart. She wants something massive, something that will cost Kyle his soul. Is Kyle going to pull some strings to get her transferred to a cushy, minimum security mental health facility instead of a maximum security prison? Or worse, is he going to orchestrate a full-blown jailbreak? I mean, think about the logistics of this. If Kyle helps the woman who stabbed his father and poisoned his mother escape justice, he is crossing a line he can never, ever cross. He is becoming the exact kind of monster he is trying to destroy. He is sacrificing his family's safety for a shot at revenge. And can we talk about Jack and Diane for a minute? I am getting ahead of myself, but just imagine their reaction when they inevitably find out about this. They are going to absolutely lose their minds. Jack is lying in a hospital bed, recovering from a stab wound, finally having sweet, private moments with Diane. They are talking about making up for lost time, cuddling, finding their way back to each other after the nightmare Patty put them through. And right under their noses, their son is out there making pacts with their attempted murderer. They would be so furious, so betrayed, so utterly disgusted by Kyle's actions. It would tear the Abbott family apart from the inside out. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself with the family drama, because there is an even bigger threat looming. What about Dr. Lawrence Markham? Kyle just rescued his mother from that creepy, lockdown fortress, and we all know Markham is probably Martin Lawrence in disguise. Tracy Abbott looked into that doctor's eyes and saw pure, unadulterated evil. If Markham is out there plotting his next move, Kyle needs to be hyper-focused on protecting his family from him, not playing mob boss with Patty in a jail cell. Kyle is completely taking his eye off the ball, and it is going to cost him dearly. And don't even get me started on Billy Abbott. Billy has been warning everyone that Victor is a massive target that people keep missing. Billy knows the dangers of going after the mustache better than anyone. If Billy finds out that Kyle is using Patty Williams, the woman who has terrorized their family for decades, as a weapon, Billy is going to flip. He might even try to intervene, which will just create a massive civil war within the Abbott family when they should be united against Victor. Kyle is alienating the very people who could actually help him formulate a smart, legal strategy to take Victor down. Now, I know some people are loving this. I see the forums. I see the group chats. People are saying, yes, Kyle is finally growing a backbone. Dark Kyle is here to slay. And look, personally, I love a good revenge arc. I love when the Abbotts get some fire in their bellies and take the fight to the Newmans. But this isn't strategic. This is suicidal. Because here is the thing that Kyle is completely failing to consider: the double cross. Patty is a master manipulator. What if she is just playing Kyle? She smiled at the idea of taking down Victor. But let's look at the history here. Victor has money. Victor has power. Victor has a private jet and islands and resources that Kyle can't even begin to fathom. Victor is the one who funded her entire reign of terror. He bought her the yacht. He paid for her safe houses. He orchestrated her release from the psychiatric facility. Why on earth would she permanently betray the golden goose for a grieving, desperate kid like Kyle? It is entirely possible, and frankly highly probable, that Patty will string Kyle along, get him to secure her release or a better facility, and then immediately turn her on and sell him out to Victor. She has worked with Victor before. She knows how he operates. She might just be lulling Kyle into a false sense of security, making him believe they are a team, only to stab him in the back literally or figuratively. Victor has always treated her well when she follows his orders. Why wouldn't she run back to the man with the deepest pockets in Genoa City the second she gets the chance? And if she doesn't run back to Victor, Kyle is still in mortal danger. Patty's bloodlust is insatiable. She has a hit list, and if Kyle isn't careful, he is going to end up right at the top of it. He thinks he can outsmart a woman who has spent decades evading the law, manipulating psychiatrists, and surviving the darkest corners of the criminal underworld. Kyle is a smart guy in the boardroom, but he is way out of his depth in the gutters of Genoa City. He is playing with fire, and he is going to get burned to a crisp. Okay, back to the point. I need to see how this plays out, but I am dreading it. I am absolutely dreading the moment this blows up in Kyle's face. Because it will. It always does. You don't make deals with the devil and expect to walk away without smelling like smoke. Victor is going to find out about this little alliance, and when he does, his retaliation is going to be biblical. And Kyle won't just have Victor to worry about, he'll have an unhinged Patty Williams on the loose, knowing all his secrets. I just hope Jack and Diane are ready for the fallout, because Genoa City is about to explode. Am I crazy for thinking this is going to end in absolute tragedy? Let me know, because my anxiety is through the roof.